listening to the Sunday Debrief podcast, and oh my God, I'm that excited. I can't even describe it. Regan, mate, how are you?
Oh, I'm so good. It's an absolute day for it out here at the Indie Bar, and there is no better way to kick off your Thursday afternoon than doing the Sunday Debrief podcast with a new member and a new guest. So I'm very excited to get into this.
Indeed, and we were just saying before that while this special member is very talented, plays a bit of music in his spare time, we're actually not interested in that because we're just that excited to day drink with Ben Emery from the Hello Stranger band.
Hey boys, thanks for having me. I'm keen to be here. Let's have some beers and have a good chat. It's going to be a good time.
It will be, mate. Have you ever been on a podcast before?
No, this is my first time. I've got absolutely no experience, not really any idea what to expect. I mean, I've watched some of your boys' episodes before, but other than that, I've got no idea what to expect, so it's going to be a good time, I'm sure.
Yeah, as much as we're seasoned professionals, we still don't really have much idea what we're doing. So that's completely okay. Just be yourself, and we and the audience have plenty of questions to dive into. So looking forward to this episode.
Excited. We absolutely do, and we reckon we'll start from the start for you, mate. Obviously, music. We don't know a lot about. Like Regan said, we don't know a lot about podcasting. We know even less about music other than listening to it. Where did it all start for you?
If you want to go to the very, very start, it all started when I was about 10 years old. My cousin James, shout out cousin James, if you're watching, mate. He lives over in the UK, and he came over for a holiday to see the family and whatnot, as you do. And he was at music college at the time, I believe, and he brought a guitar while he was over here, like a cheap cash converter's guitar, run of the mill. And he kind of taught me a bit while I was here, taught me to play Smoke on the Water. Not sure if you're familiar. A lot of guitarists' first song. And so he taught me to play that, and I was just hooked straight away. I loved it. And he didn't want to take the guitar back with him, so he left it with me. And the rest is history, I guess. Yeah, I kind of got a few lessons, and I guess it all went from there. But that's kind of where it all started. It was kind of just a bit of luck, I guess, involved as well. It was good. Was there any sort of artists or bands that you looked up to when you were younger to sort of that were inspirational that you just liked in general? I remember in high school, I had like a little high school band, and we did a cover of Hotel California by the Eagles. So the Eagles were definitely a really early inspiration for me. I think my dad actually had like a big part in like my music kind of taste growing up. Introduced me your Michael Jacksons, your Elton John, your Eagles, your Queen, all that kind of stuff. And I think that was kind of like I had like a bit of like an older music taste growing up. And then as I got a bit older, kind of got into like my Ocean Alley, my Spacey Jane, Sticky Fingers, all that kind of stuff. And but that was probably the early inspiration, I'd say. Yeah.
I remember growing up, I think I always just looked up to a band called Hello Stranger. I've always been wondering like how they came about. So,
mate, I can't imagine why. But So myself and Dana met online, and she literally just sent me a random message one day saying like, "Do you want to go for a jam?" I was like, "Yeah, all right. I guess we'll go for a jam." So met up with a couple guitars, went to the beach, had a jam, and we kind of just said, look, should we make it a regular thing? Should we see where it takes us? And so that's what we did. I think it was every Monday we met up. We literally just started having a bit of fun, writing some stuff, recording a few covers, made an Instagram. We were like, oh, let's make an Instagram. We had a few friends that were doing gigs at restaurants and cafes and things, and we're like, oh, we could maybe take it down that route or do something like that. But we're like, we'll just see what happens. We'll post stuff online, and we ended up getting a lot of gigs. We started at a gig as a duo at a place called Bar Therapy in Mandurah. That was a very chilled out kind of acoustic style gig. But then we got an offer to play a gig at a place called Monkey Bar in Mandurah, and it was a fun vibe. But it was a weird vibe because myself and Dana were kind of there. I had an acoustic guitar. Dana would sing. But every other band was like a heavy rock or metal band, and it was just we feel so out of place. So we kind of just turned around and went, look, we need a drummer. We need a drummer. We need to fit in with these guys. So we ended up finding Jimmy. I went to school with Jimmy, so I did know Jimmy somewhat. But but yeah, so we got Jimmy on board, and then I guess the rest is history. And we started playing gigs all around Mandurah, and eventually came up here to the indie bar, and I guess the rest is history. But yeah.
That's it. Well, that's just how every great story starts. Do you remember your first ever gig? How nervous were you for that, and has that disappeared, or were you just a natural born talent?
I'll tell you what, for that, as I say, the bar therapy gig, as much as it was a chilled out gig, we actually hadn't really planned to play it until a couple of days before. I think we had the Monkey Bar gig on the Saturday, and then we got the offer for it was like an open mic, I think, for the Thursday night gig. And we just went, let's just do it. Why not? Let's get to the experience. Let's have a bit of fun. And I can tell you, I was shitting myself. I was so nervous. I'd done a few little performances through school and through the music lessons I used to do and things like that. But this was the first kind of thing that we promoted, and I was like, wow, this is it. And it was the best feeling though once you got it over with. But
but you start to feel a bit of pressure when it's a real thing, and then as you say, you start to promote it, and you're like, it's not just jamming on the beach anymore, right?
Exactly right. And you're promoting it, you're getting your mates coming down, they're going out of their way to come see you, so you're like, wow, I've got to put on a bit of a show. But it's all part of the fun. And I think if you're not nervous before a show, you don't love it as much. If you really care about something, it makes sense to be nervous. I think over time you do get a bit more used to it, but it is part of the fun.
Well, I think that's like all things really. If you're nervous for something and then the feeling you get after just overwhelms you with happiness, it's almost worthwhile 100%. So I think that can relate to many things.
It's like transferring just that nervous energy is just about realising it's not necessarily a negative energy. You just got to transfer into something positive and a bit of excitement.
Couldn't agree.
Cricket, walking out to bat, there's always that nervous energy, and then when you're walking back the other way 5 minutes later, it's like, I was well within my right to feel nervous. So, but you mentioned, you starting in Mandurah and then starting to get gigs at the Great Indian Ocean Hotel where we're having a pint right now.
We love the indie bar.
We do love the indie bar. Can you talk us through their influence and kind of everything that they do in helping the local 100%. And upcoming bands?
Indie bar is amazing. I was talking to it was Tom from Koi Pond. Shout out Tom if you're watching. And he described indie bar as a cheat code for bands. They run the plug and plays here on a Thursday night, and it literally any band, no matter how long you've been going, how big or small you are, anyone can play. It's open mic, and especially in summer, it's like a guaranteed massive crowd as well, and it's just the best place for new bands to start. I remember our first plug and play as a band, the feeling I had afterwards was just I can't describe it. I was so happy and overwhelmed with just excitement. I was like, far out, this is sick. We got to do more of this. This place has definitely been a massive part of our journey, I'd say.
What is that kind of process like? So, say you and a couple of mates, you got a bit of musical talent. Me and Regan, we might just discover that we mentioned before, Regan wants to learn the drums, I want to learn the guitar and how to sing.
That's it. The new old nerves, I reckon. The new old nerves,
exactly right. So we get together, we're jamming, and we go, all right, we want a live gig. What's the process there?
Well, it's different from venue to venue, but for Indie Bar, for example, it's literally just an online application. It does help to have a bit of a social media following behind you. So if you have a social media page that you can kind of put in your application and say, look, this is what we do, this is what we're about, this is the kind of music we play, that's a great way to kind of boost yourself as well. But Indie Bar, it's as easy as a form online, and every week they'll go through them and they'll pick out their 6 or 7 bands, I think it is, and away you go. You're good to go. You get a time slot, and you're good. You're set.
Yeah, I think sometimes you realise how easy things may be to do, and you just got to do it.
That's
really.
it, mate. That's it. It's just putting yourself out there, I guess, and
it's a bit of reflection on everything, isn't it? I feel these kind of hobbies, I guess you could originally call them, such as music or let's start a podcast. It's a thought in your mind, but it's I'll never be able to reach the heights of other people, or how will I even start? But you got to start somewhere, and everyone had to start somewhere, right?
Definitely. And I think on top of that as well, I think it always should start as a hobby, because if you don't enjoy it in the first place, you're you're never going to be able to do it for the rest of your life. You know what I mean?
It's interesting, and I know we spoke last week, and I think we're on the same wavelength in terms of obviously that attitude of why do we care so much about what people think, and we're going to get to your new song as well, which obviously is sort of based around that whole concept. So yeah, where is that mindset stemmed for you? Like, it's a very kind of deep and thoughtful kind of.
I'd say a number of things. Yeah, definitely. I think Dana's definitely had a big influence on that as well, because she's so big on the social media side of it, and she's just kind of like, no, let's just do it. Let's just do this. Let's just do that. And I think for me, because we're constantly posting stuff on social media, and I think if I was to worry about what people were thinking all the time, I'd just like combust, because we're just constantly kind of putting ourselves out there. But I don't know. I think it's just like a much better way to live when you're just kind of doing the things that make you happy and not really worrying about what people might think of you, because realistically, people aren't going to remember half the stuff you do anyway. So as long as you're doing right by others and you're making people happy around you and you're living a pretty happy life, then I'd say it's a pretty good way to live.
At the end of the day, we always say it's even if we improve the day or the life or make someone laugh momentarily, they will always outweigh someone who's gone out of their way to go, oh, I didn't like this.
Absolutely, yeah, couldn't agree more. Yeah, definitely.
And any publicity is good publicity, as we always say as well. So if something doesn't go your way, just use it as a positive. So did that sort of...
unless it's to do with a criminal record.
Yeah.
So did that sort of mindset and upbringing, was that anything to do with the name of your band, or is that completely stemmed from something different?
I'm going to be honest. The name of our band, so originally we were kind of marketing ourselves as Ben and Dana Music. So shout out to anyone
creative.
That remembers, that's it.
I see where you're going with it.
Shout out to anyone that remembers Ben and Dana Music. That's a bit of a throwback. But we kind of we're like, look, we need a name. Like, we can't not have a name. Everyone else has got a name. So it took us like weeks to come up with a name, and I kid you not, we got to the point we were so desperate we would there's like a random band name generator online. So we were going through that and we still couldn't find anything. And then I believe...
Just go from Ben and Dana to, I don't know, drums and guitars.
Yeah, drums and guitar played by Ben and Dana. But yeah, no, so we were sitting in a Zambreros one day, and I was like, look, I'm going to go back on the name generator. I'm going to start flicking through. And I can't remember if the word hello came up or the word stranger came up. It was one of the two. And then we kind of just went, right, what can we put with that? I think it was hello. And I was like, right, what can we put with hello? And then, oh, hello stranger. I guess that's got a nice ring to it. We kind of sat on it for a few days and we went, yeah, I guess we like it. So, unfortunately there's no big meaning behind it or anything. But that's kind of how the name came about.
Well, I think it fits well now. we speak about, putting yourself out there and meeting new people and everything.
Well, that's it. Yeah, that's what I guess. But that's the kind of the direction we try to take as well. Is saying hello to a stranger every now and then. It can't hurt. So yeah,
that's it. I thoroughly enjoy the name. If you wanted my opinion,
thank you very much.
So in terms of your music, Soul Tide. Well, that came out in April this year. Tell us about that song and the meaning behind those lyrics and how that came about.
Soul Tide, I'll be honest, Dana wrote the lyrics for that one. So I can't tell you. She actually hasn't told me what it's about. Dana is very private.
You just have to kind of sing it and play it.
Yeah, that's it. But Dana's a whiz with the lyrics. She, myself and Jimmy were more on the instrumentation of that song. And Dana kind of just worked her magic with the lyrics. But that song came about, we were kind of just looking for like an upbeat kind of rocky sound. That was kind of the sound we were going for. And it was literally just a case of me and Jimmy in the garage one day, just having a bit of a jam. And it actually started with Jimmy playing that beat, just like the simple, quick beat. And I just kind of started going, right, okay, I'll try and write like a cool little riff over it. And then, we just kind of jammed it out and showed Dana. She went, yeah, this is sick, let's run it. And wrote some lyrics. And then, we were like, let's get in the studio. Because we were just desperate to record something. We just wanted to get some music out there. So, I guess that's kind of how it came about.
And how was the reception for that?
Oh, overwhelming. We did not expect to get so much support. It kind of gave us a real perspective of how supportive the West Australian music scene really is, and the community we've got around us. We were so overwhelmed and happy with the result of that song. We were very, very, very lucky and thankful to be put in that position. But Yeah.
Even I see the. I really like the little art for that one.
Oh, yeah.
How does that created?
Mate, I tell you, that was, okay, so the story behind that single cover, the night before we played a gig, it was a backyard gig up here this way in Joondalup with our good friend Joel Kirkbright. And Joel Kirkbright was kind enough to let us sleep in his shed for the night. Oh, his shed kind of like converted into a bedroom. So we kind of had about 3 hours sleep in the shed, woke up at about 5 a.m. to drive to Coogee Beach. It was freezing cold. I can't remember how warm it was, but it was not warm. And myself and Jimmy were just like, we're not getting in that water. It's not happening. But yeah, Dana got us in, and our good friend Inika came with the drone and got the drone shot, and we had to chuck the guitar in the water, which was a bit painful for me as a guitarist. But it wasn't a working guitar, so it kind of gave me a bit. It got
put to good use.
It did, but it still felt wrong to put a guitar in the water. You know what I mean? But yeah, so we eventually got there. We were all sleep deprived and we were all a bit cold, but it was worth it for the shot in the end.
Well, it's a very nice looking.
Oh, thank you. But yeah.
Before it loses, gets away from my train of thought. I was just thinking as you were saying how Soul Tide came around. So you're saying you and Jimmy just jamming in the garage. He starts playing a tune and you're like, oh, I like that. So as someone so just foreign to like the music world, is that how songs come about? Are you like bands are just kind of making up sounds and suddenly one moment they'll be like, oh shit, that's the one?
It depends. It really just depends. It's completely different from song to song. Sometimes we'll come up with an idea on the guitar. Sometimes it'll be on the drums. Sometimes it'll be like a lyric. Sometimes Dana will come up with a bass line. It really just differs. And it's also like we'll go through phases of like we just can't write anything right now. Like it's just not working. And we'll go through phases of we've written 3 songs this week. You know what I mean? Like it's like it just really depends. But yeah, I feel like we don't really have a set like kind of structure or process the way we do it. Maybe further down the line we'll kind of develop something like that. But yeah, I found that for us when we're under pressure we write better. We had to play a show near where we first started, and it was a 45-minute set, and we had about 2 originals written. So in the space of about 2 weeks, I think we wrote 5 or 6 songs, and I think I slept a collective maybe 10 hours that week. It was stressful, but yeah, I think it just differs every song really. Whatever kind of works, I guess, and whatever situation we're put in. But yeah, it's it'll get there in the end, I guess.
I suppose it's one of those things where you don't want to force it upon yourself either. I mean, the one that sticks out to mind, I mean, I don't know what's wrong with this bloke, but Charlie Puth, like he drops a spoon on the ground, and next thing you know, he's got a #1 hit from that thing. So I don't know how he does it, but
I don't know how the man does it.
Yeah, I think it's one of those things that's it's each to their own, and yeah, you just got to be in a collaborative space. And how much do you think that that chemistry comes about in a band, and how much that helps to produce music?
Oh, I think it's so important, and I think being comfortable enough to kind of share ideas, and also not being afraid to be like, no, I don't like that, I like this, and it's not a personal thing, it's just, look, like this will work better, and you go, oh yeah, it's kind of, you're working towards the same common goal, I guess, in the end. So yeah, it's definitely very important. And I think even as an extension for that, when you're recording music, having a good producer where you can kind of have the same relationship with them and be able to say, no, I don't like that bit, can we re-record this, and we're so lucky. Shout out Dylan, our producer. He is incredible at what he does.
Oh no!
And we've lost our camera. It is a windy day, but yeah. As far as recording goes, yeah, like having a good producer like our producer Dylan. Shout out Dylan. He is incredible. Like he again, we have such a good relationship, and we can just kind of say, look, we don't like this, we do like this. Can we redo this? Whatever it is, and he's just like so good at what he does. Yeah, we're very lucky to be in his presence.
Along the lines of what Regan's saying, like with chemistry, I just the lovely Alice who was helping us out today at the Indian Ocean Hotel. Again, thank you to them for the lovely location
Shout
today.
Out Indie Bar. Shout out.
I was just asking if she played music herself. She said she plays the drums, but not in a band because she has heard a lot of kind of horror stories about bands coming together and then there's arguments and ruptures and it becomes very kind of political. Do you reckon that's common across the scene?
I think definitely. I think a big reason for it as well is when you're in a band, you're spending so much time together. Like, I would say I see Dana and Jimmy 2-3 times a week minimum. And when you're spending that much time with someone, like, there's always going to be debacles and arguments. I'm quite lucky. Like, Jimmy and Dana are like the most chill people ever, and like we just all get along like a house on fire. So we've never really had any issues between us, which is really, really like nice. And but I can definitely see how it would happen just because of how much time you're spending together. And of course, like if someone's tired or something like that, you're going to get days. You're going to get off days. You know what I mean? But yeah, it's just one of those things. I think it's like anything. I think even as you say, playing cricket and stuff, if you're seeing your teammates all the time and things like that, it's, you know what I mean? It's just when you're around someone too much, it can get a lot, I guess. But yeah, we haven't had any issues, which we're very lucky to say, I guess.
Yeah. I feel like Sunday Debrief Studios tends to be pretty.
Yeah, we usually just wrestle to sort things out.
Just a massive punch up.
Before
your anger.
Yeah, before and after, even during episodes, sometimes we just stop and just wrestle.
Yeah, if you ever see cuts in the app, it's because just got that angry, just had a massive scrap, and it would get taken down for being inappropriate. But now moving on to the last couple of weeks. So, fresh song. Hope you enjoyed the music video.
It was phenomenal. I absolutely loved it. You boys killed it. It was
It's
sick.
a bloody cracking song. I love it so much. It's been stuck in my head literally all week.
Thank you so much.
It is actually. I think it obviously a little bit too late to reach the Spotify Wrapped.
Unfortunately.
Obviously, the Spotify on repeat is updated every week, and within a week, it's gotten to number 6 on my on repeat.
So I will take that. Number 6 is a great number.
So, no, it is a cracking song. That made our job much easier.
Oh, yeah.
Just tell us about it from the... I love the lyrics, by the way.
Thank you so much.
The tune, the lyrics, the story.
Yeah, it's stick around. It's been one of those songs we've kind of been sitting on for quite a while. Much different to Soul Tide. Soul Tide we kind of wrote and went, right, let's get in the studio. Whereas Stick Around, we've been playing for quite some time before we actually went and recorded it. So it kind of was good in a way because we kind of knew the song so well, and it made it easier to kind of work it through and change certain things with our producer, and it worked pretty well. I think I preferred that style of kind of sitting on it for a while, and yeah. But anyway, again, Dana wrote the lyrics. She again kills it with the lyrics. But yeah, the song basically just explores like again not caring what people think and just kind of living life for you and like doing the things that you want to do, not letting people hold you back. And yeah, we think it's a very important message because especially these days, you know, in the age of social media and all the rest of it, people tend to care way too much about what other people think of them, and it might hold some people back from doing the things they want to do. So we're just kind of trying to spread that message of do the things that you want to do because you want to do it, you know. And yeah, I think the song kind of reflects that in a way.
Couldn't agree more with the lyrics, really. And yeah, definitely very relatable for everyone in this kind of space, I would say. In terms of so I'm picking up that a lot of songs get written and created. What's the process from there to being recorded, and
Okay.
how do you choose that, and why don't you record every song straight away?
Oh, the main reason for that would be money. Recording, unfortunately, is not cheap. That is probably, I would say, you speak to any musician in the West Australian or the Australian music scene, and they will tell you that money is one of the major barriers to doing the things that you want to do. But you always find a way. You know, there's always a way around it. So it is a bit of a grind, but yeah, if we could record every song like that, we definitely would. Maybe one day I'll learn to produce and do it from home. But yeah, no, so getting it to the studio, so this was the first time we actually recorded with our producer Dylan, and we'd been recommended him by a number of people who said he was brilliant, and he was a bit closer to us down in Mandurah as well. And yeah, we just kind of went, all right, let's do this song. We got this song we're super keen for. We sent him a bit of a demo, and he went, yeah, let's do it. Come down, we'll get it going. And yeah, we kind of just went in, and we found with Dylan as well as a producer, instead of just kind of sitting down and going, right, this is the song, let's record it. He went, right, play me the song, and we're going to map it out. We're going to see what we can make better. We're going to see what can change, see what we can do. And spending that time at the start and kind of getting a really clear map of what we're going to do throughout the recording process made such a big difference. And I think it really like reflected on the song as well and just made the song so much better. So yeah, I think just the whole I think it was 16 hours we ended up spending on that song in the studio, so over 2 days, and it was a long process, but we're very happy with the outcome. So shout out Dylan.
Yeah, it sounds like one of those things that it is a lengthy process, but you also don't want to overthink it at the same time. But then you also don't want to dive straight into it because otherwise, new ideas might pop up, and
Exactly.
how you want to portray the song and sing the song may be different. But it's quite the process. Is take two of the camera falling down. But before we go ahead and look forward to your 2025 and your goals and your plans and stuff, I want to quickly jump back to the Spotify Wrapped. How was your reception with your band this year? How did everyone see it? Because I'm sure they all loved it.
We were so stoked again with the support that we got over 2024. Obviously, releasing a debut single is always it's a scary thing. You don't really know how people are going to react, and kind of putting yourself out there to the world is a very daunting thing. But the reception and the support we got from everyone was just like incredible. Like, we're just so lucky to be surrounded by such great people that will get behind us. And we were super stoked. We couldn't have, if you told me at the start of 2024 that we'd be where we are at the moment, I wouldn't have believed you. Like, we were so stoked. I actually said to the band, I said, if we get 10,000 streams on Soul Tide, I'll get a Hello Stranger tattoo. And we hit that, so I did end up getting the tattoo.
Where is it?
It is on my ankle. It is there. Just a
very
Hello Stranger
good.
hand. I'll show you, Regan.
Let's go.
That's actually, I really like that.
The Hello Stranger
that's
hand.
nice.
Yeah. So I followed through. I'm a man of my word. But I did not. That just shows you how little I expected us to perform, and for it to have done as well as it did.
Well, I was on the Spotify today. It's what, 70k plus, 80k plus even?
I think it's in the 70,000 range.
So you
Get 7 more.
7 tattoos.
7 times. Yeah, you got to get 7 of the same, just in a line up your ankle.
Yeah.
It's like as much as you don't want to focus on and look at the statistics, they are an important thing, and they do give you some. They do make you
Bit of
feel good.
validation,
Yeah, a bit
right?
of validation.
You know,
Exactly.
It is,
Yeah.
and it's hard. It is hard to not look at it as well. But yeah, and it is a nice. It's a nice indication, like, people are liking our song, people are liking the music that we're putting out. So it is a nice thing to be like, wow, okay, we've had a bit of success, and
I feel like it's always I definitely find it a struggle with that balance between it's not caring what people think and not taking the
exactly,
negativity into consideration. Yet, like, it's impossible when you're in it is a somewhat a numbers industry.
Yeah. Exactly.
Is how can you not just kind of care about, okay, how many people are seeing this, how many people are liking this, and if people like it, it puts you on top of the world, and if it's not going as well, then it kind of.
I think it is that thing, like, you just get so, like, the feeling you get when something does well and you've worked so hard on it for so long. It's like, wow, like, it's just one of the best feelings. Like, you can't describe it. Hey, it's great. But we're very, very lucky, as I say, very, very lucky.
Yeah, one thing looking at ours, I don't know if this is new, but they put, like, your top listeners, what they, like, also listen to as well. So you can have, it's not copying, but it's also just getting a bit of inspiration of other artists, other podcasts, just to improve yours, I guess, and just appeal to the listener more, as much as you don't really want to look at the numbers. But yeah, I thought that was a really cool feature. What was your guys' number one artist or band?
That we sound like,
or even just
Does
yours.
it,
What you had on
did
your
it give
account?
you a what do people also listen to?
yeah, we do get that. Let me have a look.
Yeah, that's
I
right.
think it's on our.
Who was your number one artist?
Well,
Fitzy?
I had Old Mervs was number one by a long way.
I do love a bit of old.
yeah.
Mervs. I do love a bit of old. Mervs.
Yourself, Regan?
Well, mine was the band I saw last night.
Oh,
Two-Door Cinema Club.
Cinema Club.
Oh no! I wanted to go to that. That looks sick.
Yeah.
It was unreal. It was a great experience.
And Declan McKenna.
Yeah, he was great as well. Yeah.
Brazil would have gone off, I'd imagine.
Yeah.
I did find it random a Wednesday night at Ice Cream, because those are two. I feel like those two names together could have done a proper venue, a proper event, and they just rocked up at Ice Cream on a Wednesday night.
It was like that was the first time I've ever been to Ice Cream Factory. I didn't know what to expect. It was pretty decently bigger venue than I thought, and they were both amazing, and the reception there was crazy. Yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed that.
Wish I was there. very quickly, because it did come out today, the Rat. We on the Sunday Debrief have some big thank yous to say, because we can reveal that we were top 10 podcasts for 176 people, top 5 for 127 people, and the top podcast for 38 fans. And we didn't even know we had more than 38
so
fans.
That's, very nice to know.
We are very, very grateful.
That's it.
Have you found what you were looking for?
I have, yes. We had a couple good friends of ours as well. Lazy Haze is on there. Shout out Lazy Haze. They got some great music. They just released an EP as well, which is sick. Definitely go have a listen to it.
Lazy Haze. I feel like that's a beer as well.
Probably, yeah, it probably is.
Yeah, I feel like it's a beer from a down south brewery. I'm thinking, I reckon they should collab.
Yeah, definitely. If it is, that should definitely be a collab.
Beer Farm. I reckon it's Beer Farm Lazy Haze.
Surely, it's got to be.
I'll find out.
We've got a bit of Koi Pond on there as well. Yeah. Shout out Tom. Also got Ruby Who. Love Ruby Who. To be put next to them is, sick, because they have an awesome sound. But it's cool to be compared, like to kind of compare what your sound is to a lot of other people, and because there's so many great bands in the local scene. Like, it's so sick.
We did have that chat last week somewhat. So and then you spoke earlier about a bit of inspiration that you listened to growing up. Who would you directly compare Hello Stranger to?
It is hard, and we did have a bit of a chat last week. We always say the Ryans. The Ryans is kind of like our go-to sound that we kind of want to replicate.
They were my number 4, so that's good. That's good.
We love the Ryans. I think they're playing a show here soon as well.
They're in Margaret River tomorrow night, and they're at Freo on Saturday. So
true. I might have to go get around that, because I do love the Ryans. But so you got the Ryans. I said San Cisco as well. I feel like we've kind of got like the more chill kind of San Cisco element in there as well. And then I think we've got a new guitarist kind of playing some shows with us as well. His name's Joe, and I feel like now we're incorporating a bit more lead guitar as well. We kind of got a few elements of like Dice in there as well, kind of like some more prominent lead guitar, I'd say. But yeah, I guess if you merge those 3 into one, that's kind of our sound, if I had to describe it.
Fantastic. So
2025?
2025, yeah. Any set plans, or just going with the flow and seeing what's happening?
A bit of both, really. We have another song recorded, which we plan to release early 2025.
Fantastic.
So that's very exciting. That's another one that I think it was the 3rd song we ever wrote. So that's it's kind of survived the cull of old songs, and it's made it through. So we're very excited to release that one. Just playing as many shows as we can, really. We were thinking about a tour, but again, money is just such a big factor. So it's a possibility. We'll see what happens. Yeah. But I think just recording as much as possible next year. I think we just want to get a whole bunch of music out and just keep sharing it with everyone. But exciting times.
Love it. We'll be getting around it, no doubt. We'll have the music videos ready to go. We had some. We popped the Instagram cube up, so we do have some questions for you, and then we'll go to our regular Google Docs where people have again provided the goods. I guess you could call them goods. I don't know what to call them, and we'd love to hear your feedback on them. Before I do, I keep hearing the word money, and it's a bit of a it's important in the world. Without going into too many specifics, again, a general music question from someone foreign to music. What's the monetary risk? What's the monetary reward? How easy is it to start making your band your number one income?
I think it depends what you're doing. I think at first, like, we've never had to risk anything money-wise, which we've been very fortunate with. We've kind of always had an agreement, and I think a lot of bands do this, where anything we make, we just kind of put into one account and it gets reinvested, which I think is the best way to do it, personally, just because, that there's no like, we'll split this, and then when you got to record, you've all got to put in money. I think, putting it all together definitely helps the cause. At the start, there's not a whole lot of risk involved, because when you're playing gigs, the only time you're really going to have to pay out an expense is like if you're hiring a venue. So if you start out like we did, supporting a lot of other bands and stuff, there's not too much monetary risk involved, which is really good. I'd say the main expenses come when you're trying to record. The recording is definitely the expensive part, but it's definitely doable. Like, anyone can do it. It's definitely something that if you got a few mates and you want to play some music, like, just do it. Like, there's nothing stopping you. Go sign up for a plug and play. It's yeah, it's sick. It's so much fun. I couldn't recommend it more.
Yeah.
It's sick.
We did, we did say kind of off the record before, we were just laughing about equipment and stuff. So yeah, is that kind of where a lot of it comes down to?
Equipment is a massive thing for me, definitely. I think a lot of guitarists can relate. There's always another piece of equipment you can buy or invest in or upgrade. There's always something. So it's just like, I guess kind of finding a good deal. Good friend Sam is a wizard on the Facebook Marketplace, so he'll find a good deal.
Find a bargain,
mate. Facebook Marketplace is your friend as a musician, I'll tell you. But it's definitely not cheap. It's definitely not cheap.
Yeah. Well, you take the good with the bad. Fortunately, part of the good is it's the friends and the fans you make along the way, and some of them have pitched in some questions which Rugsy has right in front of him.
Yeah,
Let's hear him.
We're very excited for this. So we'll start off with Reese. They're wondering if there's going to be any Hello Stranger merch in brackets shirts.
Absolutely. We did sell a few shirts at the start of this year for our single launch. Only a few though. So they went pretty quickly. Shout out Dana's mum for selling all the shirts at the gigs. I think at our single launch, every single person that walked through the door, Dana's mum was in their face making them buy a shirt. It was great. She's the best saleswoman ever. But so we've had some shirts. We've got some corduroy hats that we had made by Gnome & Co, who did a sick job. So we've got a few more of them left. But more shirts are definitely on the cards. I think that's something we need to get onto because the shirts seem to go down a treat. So coming soon.
Well,
hopefully.
Once they're out, consider them sold, and we'll wear them on the pod.
Lovely.
So.
Sounds like a plan.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, merch is a great way to get your brand out and even just have yourself out there into the world. So merch is definitely maybe on the cards for us. Who knows?
I've been saying that for about 15 months.
I'll be buying it. I'll be wearing it.
You can have a sticker, mate. We'll give you a sticker for the back of the car.
Say less. I'll put it on there.
We have a couple stickers rolling around. This is by Reese again. You mentioned a couple new singles potentially on the way for 2025. How about an album?
Ooh, an album. That sounds expensive. I'd love to write an album one day. But maybe when money's not as much as a factor, that would be good. But hopefully one day. I'd love to. Yeah, definitely. Definitely on the bucket list.
Evan says, this is a bit more of a story. Explain how you nearly totaled my 80 series down south.
Oh, no. I remember this. Okay.
It sounds pretty hard to forget, to be fair.
Yeah, no, it's not. Yeah, it's not easy to forget. This would have been about, I think, 2022. Myself, I went down south to Denmark with a group of friends, and my good friend Evan, who actually just lives around the corner from here, he had an 80 series, and I think it had about a 5-inch lift on it. It was not a small car. And he goes, "Oh, do you want to drive it, mate?" I was like, "Yeah, right, I'll drive it." And, we were being a bit silly, empty country roads, and we kind of went round a corner. And I was like, "Oh, I'll put my foot down a bit." So I've put my foot down, and the back end's kind of gone like that. Because I'm not used to driving a big car. I drive a Golf, so I'm not used to that kind of machinery.
You just want to whiz around, get from A to B pretty quick. Yeah,
that's it. Yeah, so I kind of put my foot down a bit, and the back end's gone out. So I've corrected it, but I've overcorrected it and gone like that, and I'm going off the road. And I think the 2 right wheels went up in the air. Like it was not good. And then I've managed to correct it and get it on. And I just looked at Evan, and he's just pissing himself laughing. Like
it's his car, right?
It was his car. I was like, mate, if I was in your shoes, I probably wouldn't have been happy. But luckily, he was pretty chill about it. But that was a funny day.
Yeah.
So just to confirm, it didn't actually get totaled.
No, I didn't actually total the car. Can confirm the car is still on its feet. But it came quite close. Yeah, unfortunately.
And we'll finish on this one by Marina here. This one says, "Why is Dana so cute?"
Shout out Marina. Marina's a legend. Dana's a legend. We love Dana. She puts in so much work behind the scenes as well. She's an absolute weapon. I'm sure anyone that's been to Indie Bar has seen Dana around at some point. She seems to walk in and everyone will know who Dana is. But she's a legend. Legend of the game.
Love it. We just had one on the Google Docs as well, which I don't know if it was specified for you, but it's the perfect question for you. Is Mandurah a wild place?
A wild place?
Wild, that is the exact word.
I tell you, a Mandurah night out is definitely wild. You definitely see some characters on a Mandurah night out. It's definitely something you got to do at least once. It is good though. I think Mandurah's I wouldn't say it's a small place anymore. Mandurah has grown quite a bit, but it's small enough that I feel like you can go on a night out in Mandurah and you see all your mates and you kind of know everyone there.
Are you a bit of a famous face around Mandurah now? Bit of a celeb?
I wouldn't say so, but yeah, no, I do love going out and you see mates you haven't seen in ages and stuff like that, and it's a good little community down there, and they've done a good job. Like they've done the foreshore up, they've done the forum up. Like it's actually quite a nice area now, and I think it does get a bit of a bad rap sometimes, but yeah, I do love living in Mandurah. It is good down there. It's just far from everything.
It is. We would know from the opposite direction. Not quite as far as Mandurah, but no, it is. Perth sprawl does get to you sometimes.
It does.
The golf would definitely cop a bit of fuel.
The golf's been through it. But.
All right, now you did mention that you don't mind a little listen to the Sunday debrief. So you would know that sometimes we cop some outrageous stuff through our Google Forms, which is an anonymous way of telling us, asking us, just saying whatever's on your mind, and they sure have done. So quite a few of these were sent in last week, and for some reason we just had a shit ton. So we thought we'd bring some of them into this episode, and
let's do it.
People always appreciate a third perspective. So
awesome.
First one here. One time when I was down south, me and my mates were getting on the beers. Couple drinks in, I decided to flee from the group and head down the freeway, hop on my motorcycle and attempt to drive back to Perth. Can't recommend that. Would not condone that.
No,
kind of illegal, kind of dangerous. Unfortunately for me, a car coming full speed ran me over. As I was pissed, I don't remember or feel anything, but what I can say now is what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. Now I look back and laugh about the time I almost passed away. It's, hilarious. At least it's a great story for my friends. I hope this inspired you boys for future struggles and tasks.
Wow, that's a lot to unpack.
So inspirational. Never felt more motivated in my life.
I wouldn't say it's inspiring. I'm just more grateful that old mate's alive, and I think they should be as well.
I was going to say I'd probably be quite grateful to be alive after a night like that. That sounds pretty full on.
Would not recommend that.
No,
would not recommend that.
Don't drink and drive, guys. It's not good.
Especially from down south on a motorbike.
Yeah.
This next one says, am I the asshole for leaking Harley Reid's address as my auntie once had a one-night stand with him?
Wow.
We have a few Harley Reid ones, but we forget this kid's like 19 years old.
That's crazy.
So I don't know how many one-night stands he's had with aunties in his lifetime.
At least one by the sound.
At least one.
See, the problematic thing, Ben, with this is sometimes being anonymous, we can't verify the information.
That's true.
And sometimes we do get a little bit suspicious about what's true and what's not.
I want to believe it.
This is one of those ones where I'm 100% sure it's obviously correct, but just for future reference, just letting you know that I don't know how much of these are correct. But
I probably wouldn't leak Harley Reid's address, though, personally.
No, but and I don't know if you'd feel embarrassed or proud that he had a one-night stand with your auntie.
Yeah, I don't know, I don't know how I'd feel about that.
Mixed feelings.
Yeah, not something to brag about, I don't think.
Last week, I went to meet Santa at the shops. I sat on his lap, then found out it was my cheating ex-boyfriend. So I threw a punch and then later on got an arrest warrant for public harassment. Keep in mind, I'm 57.
Wow. That's wild. I don't know what to say.
Do you think this one's real? There's no way this is real.
It can't be real,
maybe if they left that last bit out, keep in mind I'm 57, but if you go into the shops at 57 to sit on Santa's lap to say what you want for Christmas.
See, that's the other thing, right? Again, with these Google Forms. So, I mean, I'll show you how they look. So we just get these in, like that, but they have we don't have Wi-Fi, but yeah, they don't have any names attached to them, and they just get sent in, and you think there's no way this is true, yet how did someone actually come up with this as a fictional story?
Exactly.
Because that's quite imaginative. If you have made that up, fair enough. Like, that's pretty good going.
So, you know what? Good on them.
Yeah. Okay.
I like this one, though. It's just a simple question.
Simple question. Drinking alcohol during the week, yes or no?
Happy Thursday, boys.
Absolutely not. No, absolutely not. That's not me.
There's your
I've gone to drink the mic.
That's your answer.
Is sleeping with 3 girls in the same room a bad thing, especially with one of them being your close mate's girlfriend? I didn't get with any of them. We were just hanging out as friends. What should I have done in this situation?
Ooh. Bit more serious, this one.
Yeah, sometimes it does get deep here.
It does get deep.
Yeah, that's all right. I mean, look, if you're not doing anything, I think you should probably communicate with your mate. Be like, look, this is the situation I'm in. And then kind of take it from there. I guess it depends on the people.
Yeah.
I don't know what your boys think.
Yeah, well, I mean, if they don't know, then like you're looking from the outside in, you're probably thinking like, what the fuck? But like, I mean, if there's that original communication there. But yeah, it's certainly an interesting one. Don't know how he's ended up in that situation, but don't think he's complaining.
Look, I don't think it's not like it's not an objective wrongdoing.
No.
Yeah.
Just could raise some questions at some point, but oh well. At least he's being open about it now, and he's just going, you know what? Is this right? Is this wrong?
Yeah.
But yeah, no, you're spot on, man. He's just got to communicate it. Doesn't
That's
he?
it, I think.
Yeah, that's right.
Early morning runs or late night runs. I say this because during the day runs and afternoon runs make my anxiety go away.
Personally, I'd say an early morning run. I think if you get up in the morning and you're having a run, you just feel like you got your life together. You know?
Oh, yeah, you do.
Just getting up early in general, you just feel like, wow, I'm smashing life, you know.
It's actually my plan this morning, but rolled out at about 10 o'clock.
Me too, don't worry.
Yeah. Yeah, no, the early morning runs do just hit different, don't they? It can be hard in summer, though, because it gets hot so quick. If you end up starting, like, really, like 5 o'clock kind of thing. If you want to get it done before it gets hot. And I do think there's a certain, like right now this time, what is it? 4:15. If you started going along the coast now, I think there's a nice aura about the air and the sun.
I'd say so, yeah. Definitely.
Are you a runner yourself?
Not as much as I should be. I used to play a lot of football, so I was quite fit back in the day. But I've let my fitness go over the last few years, unfortunately. But I don't mind a bit of a run here or there. I will get back into it one day.
Might have to delve into that one before we move on. The football career. Where did that go? Why did it end?
Well, when I say football, I mean soccer because I'm English.
Gotcha, right, yeah.
So that's just been a lifelong thing for me. My dad was always into it. He coached all my teams as like a kid growing up, which I was quite lucky to have. But yeah, I was playing up until about last year or the year before, and then kind of just got so busy with work and the music and everything, so had to give it up, unfortunately. But actually played my first game back last night for my mate's team, filling in. So the legs are a bit sore this morning, but it's good fun. I love it. I still watch it all
You're
the time.
forgiven for not going for a run this morning then?
Yep.
Unpopular opinion. We've had these. So the last few weeks, we put out the unpopular opinion bar, and people have just been bringing them through pretty consistently now. Unpopular opinion: Subway is the best fast food. Could not agree more.
Really?
It's my absolute go-to.
Okay. Well, at the end of the day, it is just a sandwich. But then, like, when you think about it, it like probably costs quite similar to make it all yourself if you're having leftovers and stuff like that. So I'm not saying the cost may be an issue.
Mine
Maybe
comes to about $11.
$11.
Yeah.
What are you getting?
That's pretty good.
What, it's like 6-inch?
No. Oh, it's a foot long, mate. Don't worry.
An $11
I don't
foot
deal
long.
in 6 inch. Don't get me wrong. 6 inches more than enough. It's actually bigger than
I'd
anything
say
I've
it's
ever
too
seen.
much, if anything.
No, the foot long. And it's like I guess it would go down as a pizza sub. I got the salami, the pepperoni, and then the salads, the cheese, and then like a spicy mayo. Maybe some Thousand Island
There's no
sauce.
way that's $11.
It's $11. It used to be 9 at Currumbine actually, but they fucking inflation. Tell you what.
Maybe I'm
That's
just going to
incredible.
the wrong Subway because I'm
Yeah.
getting a chicken schnitzel and that's $15.50.
Well, that's steep, isn't it?
Yeah, far out.
I think you're telling a
It's like-
fib.
No, next Subway.
Okay.
I'll post it to the story. I'll
All right.
post my receipt.
I'm keen to see this. Keen to see this.
Yeah.
I'm personally more of a Zambreros guy myself, but
Zambies do get around
I
Zambies.
love
We
a
had a
Zambies.
Zambies versus GYG last week. What do you reckon?
Zambies 100%. I'm a big. I'm hanging out for that Zambi sponsorship. That's my life goal. If I
Didn't
can,
you get it? You secured it on TikTok this week.
I don't know. We haven't heard anything since, but yeah, even just a free burrito, I'd take it. You know,
Just one
retire.
single use.
Yeah, that's it. I don't mind, just anything. But yeah, Zambreros, if you're watching, would love a sponsorship. That would be the life goal, I think.
Great.
But yeah.
Are you an AFL man?
Here and there.
All
yeah,
right.
I watch a
Well,
few games.
we'll see what you reckon about the next question.
All right, it says, name 3 top 8 AFL Smokies for the finals in 2025 and why?
Can't say I know what that means.
So three teams who could be a surprise next year. They could be up there. People aren't really rating them, but they could be up there.
So it does have to be 3 that weren't in there last year.
I
I'm
would say
guessing?
so.
You'd say
Hey,
so?
yeah.
I might leave this one to you boys.
Yeah,
'cause I
alright.
don't think
Okay.
my opinion's going to be very valid.
Okay. Surprise.
I would put St Kilda up there as a smoky. I know we laugh about them.
We do laugh
and we do
about
on the footy forecasts. We don't like St Kilda very much. But I just reckon they could string it together.
They do have the list for it. They got a good list, but yeah, we'll see how they go. I think Crom.
Yeah.
Crom's up there, so we'll go Crom, St Kilda, and then we need one more.
Who's not been around the mark for a while? Surely not. North Melbourne aren't in the bracket just yet, are they?
Not yet.
No,
Not just yet.
They would be a smoky and a half,
Yeah.
though, if they were to do it.
What about like the D's?
That's true, because they do still have the core for it.
Yeah.
And
I don't think
they've
they
been
will.
completely written off, I reckon.
I don't think they will, but they have been written off.
Yeah.
So I think
It would be a
that's
smoky.
Smoky.
I don't mind that.
Okay,
Yeah.
I think that's well done.
Yeah, thanks, Ben. Boys, a little bit depressed as of late. You still haven't answered my question from a few weeks ago on the top 5 worst nightclubs you have been to. Sorry, mate. I do remember this.
We weren't meant to get on
and we
that.
said we were going to think about it.
Yeah, we just didn't end up doing it.
No, I've not thought about it once, but I'm sure off the top of our
I feel
heads,
like we
we've
can
got
just-
3 minds today,
Yeah,
so
okay.
we can definitely rattle
just
off
need
5.
Yeah.
I'm just going to go straight away, put Rapture in there.
Rapture, cool.
think,
Yeah.
yeah.
I just remember from that list, someone made a very indent list about the worst nightclubs they've been to, like descriptions, rating, why, and I remember Rapture being probably the worst one that they've. Yeah,
I've been once, and I don't think I'll be going back.
Could it be that?
Yeah, no,
Once
I think
was more than enough.
Once was plenty. Yeah, once was plenty. Yeah.
I might. There has been to be a magnet house there. I don't know.
Ooh, yeah, you could make it. You can make a shout for that.
It's kind of the. It's kind of one of the. I've not been there for a long time.
Are we trying to get them to collab on a video?
No, that's Metros. We love Metros.
Yeah, no,
sorry,
Metros is
wrong.
fine.
Yeah, wrong place. Both starting with them. I was gonna say maybe. Yeah, okay. Yeah. Sorry, I got confused there.
No, yeah. I feel like Magnet though. Like a night at Magnet is either like 10 out of 10 or it's just a 0. Like
It is open till 5. That's a plus.
that
Is it a plus?
Yeah, it is a plus. It is a plus, I'd say. I mean, you go to Europe and everything's just open till like the morning. So I guess
Someone's got to do it.
exactly right. But yeah. What else would we put in a list? You reckon? I'm trying to think.
Oh, look. The court does. I used to kind of get around it, but
I get around the court, I'd say. I haven't been in a while.
I don't mind
but
I don't mind the
venue's
venue.
cool.
The
'cause there's
venue's
so many
cool. I think the venue's
spots,
cool.
but
Yeah,
Yeah.
the line can be a bit shit too.
true. Yeah, that is true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if we're basing off lines, then the Cottesloe Beach Hotel is the worst venue in Australia because it is impossible to get into that thing.
I can't say I've ever been, but I have heard about the line. I have heard about the CBH line.
Bigger than anything Benny Cousins has ever consumed. It is massive. It stretches around the whole suburb. And if you get there any time after, if this was Sunday right now, if we got there, 20 past 4, it was no chance.
Really?
Yeah, no chance.
Wow. That's crazy.
That's
You're
an early
there for a
start.
couple
Yeah.
hours. But look, you make some friends along the way. So
That's it. That's what it's all about. That's what it's all about.
surely there's a manager club that you could just.
Mate, top floor is the club in Mandurah. But no, I do love a top floor sesh. I do love a top floor sesh. If you're out with your boys, it's good fun. It's a good way to end a night. You know, they've also been very good to us. We held our single launch there, and Ethan, the manager, he looked after us. Like he was sick. But yeah, a lot of people not a big fan of top floor. But yeah, I can get around it. It's a good time. It's a good time at Toppies.
Any nightclub is going to have people who love it and hate it. Right?
Exactly
Yeah.
right. Exactly.
At the end of the day, we all go, and we all end up having fun.
Exactly.
Regardless of the next day going, oh, why did I end up there? So that's all right.
That's right. I can't think of any more that
No.
are specifically bad off the top of my head.
Nah.
So
They're all
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah,
right?
I think if you're with the right people, then anything's
that's
fun.
it. It's the
Exactly.
people you go with in the end.
It's the friends you made along the way.
This next one says, why do girls go on dates with guys once, then just never talk to them again? It's a bit of ghosting
Oh,
action.
look, it sounds like he might
Sounds
be a little
personal.
bit salty about
Yeah,
something that's
I feel
happened
like something's
recently. I don't
happened.
think it's not a guys girls thing. I guess it's a human thing. You know, it goes both
Yeah.
ways.
Yeah, I think that's I think sometimes if two people just don't get along, then yeah, I guess it can happen.
What, do you reckon this is from the bloke who went in stoned with sunnies on?
So we had a story a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
Where a guy went on a date. I think he went to Zambreros. which
Zambreros.
It's already off to a
First date.
flying start there.
He's taking his sombreros, wearing sunnies. The girl said to take his sunnies off because apparently it was rude, but he didn't want to because he was stoned.
I'd say it's his fault for rocking up stoned, though, surely.
Could be this guy
Could be
who's
this
still
guy.
salty about the girl not.
It might be,
Getting back
yeah.
to
He's still not accepting that it's his fault.
Yeah.
Maybe try rocking up sober and see how you go.
Look, I think it happens. It happens. If you don't get along, or they're just not into it, so they just might not want to see you again. To never talk again, maybe that's a bit rough.
Yeah, yeah, it would be nice to, have a bit of closure, I guess.
Yeah,
but,
100%.
It does happen.
Just chuck a little text in.
Yeah.
Oh, this one's deep. Would you want to know when you died or how you died?
Boy.
Ooh, I don't think I would, I don't think I
Neither.
would. Nah, I wouldn't want to know. No, definitely not. I think I feel like I'd struggle to, because imagine someone comes up to you and says, right, I'll tell you how you die and when you die if you want to know, and they say, right, you're going to die tomorrow, and you're just like, well, shit.
Yeah, but then at least you have the warning to pack everything in.
That's true, actually. Yeah. Yeah, I guess from that side of it, you could get like your affairs in order and all that kind of stuff.
That's true.
But no, I still don't think. I don't think you should live your life in preparation to die. I think you should live each day, one day at a time.
Yeah. So if you had to pick one, it would be how?
Oh, I've read that question wrong. So it's would you want to know when you died or how
If
you
it was
died?
an option between
Oh,
the two of them, I
okay,
think.
never mind. I'm
To be
waffling
fair,
now.
it could also be taken as would you want to know or
No,
would you
probably,
not at all?
probably neither.
But
Yeah, you wouldn't want to.
if you had to pick between the two of them,
I want to know how I died. I think,
How?
not when.
Not when, yeah. It's a
Yeah.
good call, I think.
I think for me.
Yeah.
no, I agree. I agree. But
Tough
look,
question.
part of the I don't know if beauty's the right word, but the beauty of not knowing is that you do have to live every day as if it's your last,
Exactly
right?
right,
Because you never know.
Yeah.
You never know what's going to happen.
That's it.
So you gotta make the most of every single minute.
That's it.
Which is why we're drinking beers on a Thursday.
That's it.
That's it.
And now at the other end of the spectrum, we get questions like this. Is going to the clubs or out anywhere with hickeys on your neck a bad look?
If you're at the club, no one's gonna care.
Yeah,
It's
that's
the
true.
next morning walking out to family breakfast is the problem.
It's probably the most socially acceptable place to have a hickey, I'd say,
Yeah.
at the club, probably. But yeah, I can't say hickeys are the best look in general, though.
No, probably not the best look.
No, they're not.
But you're right. If you're gonna proudly wear it anywhere, it would be a
The
nightclub.
club is the place. Yeah, the club is the place. I'd
It's
say.
somewhere to be proud of it, even. Oh, look what I've got.
Wear it like a medal, mate. Wear it like a medal.
And the final one off the forms today, if there's okay, this is a deep one. This is a good one.
It's a good one to finish, I think.
If there's one thing you would change about yourself, what would it be?
Oh, that's a good question.
I wouldn't mind being 6 foot. I think as a 5'10" man myself, yeah, a bit of extra height wouldn't go astray. I don't think.
Well, look, mate, as a 5'9" man, I wouldn't mind being 5'10". You take the 6 foot.
All right, deal.
Yeah,
I'll
I
make it
like
work.
I'll try and go with something different then. I'm gonna go like, not like, I don't know how common this is in other people, but like not. I wouldn't say it's overthinking, but like thinking if I don't do this, then this won't happen. Like I think I wear my lucky South Park underwear to cricket.
I think well, our deck just fell over then. It's fine. I do think Regan went silent and it hit the ground. But so you might not have actually picked up the end of that. If you
Do I need to repeat
tuning in.
myself?
Yeah, I think you do actually, mate. It fell over and hit the mute button, and no one was hearing what
You're
you were
joking.
saying as you were talking.
Maybe that was God just saying, Regan, just shut the fuck
Shut
up,
up.
please.
Stop.
God's saying, I'm not changing anything about you. You're a lost cause.
You get what you get.
I was just saying like, I wouldn't say it's overthinking or like a superstition, but I guess like thinking if I don't do this, then this won't happen. Like I made an example, if I don't wear my lucky South Park underwear to cricket, I won't do well. So that's more of a superstition, but it's more like, yeah, if I don't do this, if I don't get up at this time, then my day's going to be ruined sort of
Sure.
thing. So I guess it's like, yeah, not thinking too much into the future and staying
You
present.
wish you could just let that go?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Fair enough.
I think my procrastination is the trait I would change.
Yeah.
Definitely. I think everyone struggles with procrastination to an extent as well. But yeah, definitely we're guilty of it, I'd say.
Now, first of all, thank you for combining a a third brain cell together for us for some of these questions, because as you can see, people just ask us some really difficult stuff.
Yeah, there were some tough ones in there. There were some tough ones in there.
Now, I've got one last one for you, mate. It's a music one.
All right.
We love blind rankings on the Sunday Debrief.
Yes, we do.
We quite often have nightclub blind rankings. I think we had a petrol station blind ranking once.
We did do a petrol station one, which was quite random but good at the same time.
We love it.
But this one I'm going to give you, mate, is 5 kind of Australian indie bands.
Yep.
And you give them the blind ranking.
Ooh, okay,
Obviously, you don't know what's to come.
Yep.
But you're going to have to
do it.
try and place them as best as you can. I think you're going to like them all.
Okay.
It's just a case of,
Where
what do
do I
you
put
like
them?
more?
Okay.
Yep. Old Mervs.
We're off to a flying start. I do love Old Mervs. All right, I'm going to put them at a solid 2. I think I'll put them at a 2. They're not like my favourite, but they're up there. They're definitely up there. I love a bit of Old Mervs. Sure.
Spacey Jane.
Ooh, Spacey Jane. I do love a bit of Spacey. Saw them in Sydney last year. They were sick. They got rained off, unfortunately. But they had enough time to play all their bangers, which was good. Just because I can see kind of the way this list is like going, I'm going to put them at a 4. I'm going to put Spacey at a 4, I'd say.
Right. Probably a little bit maybe heavier, like a bit more rocky.
Yeah.
Pacific Ave.
Oh, I love Pac Ave. Pac Ave is a good band. I'm going to go with 3 for Pac Ave. I do love a bit of Pac Ave. So we've got 2, 3, and 4.
We've got
so
2,
far.
3, and 4.
I'm playing it safe. I'm going in the middle.
Yeah. Well, that does leave you vulnerable, though, here.
It does, yeah.
Hockey Dad.
Oh, I love a bit of Hockey Dad, but I don't listen to Hockey Dad as much as I do the others on the list. So for that reason, I think I'm going to put him at 5.
I think you'll be happy with that, because the last one I'll give you is the Ryans.
The Ryans can go number 1. I'm happy with that. That's a good result. I'll take that. Lovely.
Yeah.
It's a perfect list. That's probably the first perfect list we've ever had here.
Yeah,
so you've done a good job. Done a really good job.
And if we had a 6th, Hello Stranger.
Hello, stranger. 27.
Don't forget about it.
Yeah,
You
sweep
keep
him under the rug,
scrolling. Ben, Matt, you have been unbelievable.
Oh, mate.
Thank you so much for joining the Sunday Debrief
Thanks for
this
having
summer
me,
on this
boys.
beautiful
It's been a
arvo at the Indian Ocean Hotel. Thank you again to them, because couldn't ask for a better setting, really.
Mate, it's been a beautiful day. We've had some beers. We've had a good chat. It's been a pleasure, boys. Thanks so much for having me.
Do you have any, just a couple words of advice? Regan's about to go to cricket training. Any technical advice for him before he goes?
Have you got your South Park underwear on?
No, only game day.
Okay, only game day, okay.
Yeah,
Obviously.
I save it for game day. Yeah,
No, mate. Go out there and smash it. Yeah, hit some 6s for us.
yeah, awesome.
In the meantime, we could probably have a couple more beers
I was
and
gonna say,
get ready
I think-
for a few good bands at the Indie Bar tonight.
I think that's a great idea. I think we should do it. Yeah.
All right, good stuff, boys. And I'm sure this won't be the last time that.
Mate, that's
all
it.
on.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll see each other again soon.
And thank you everyone for listening. As always, thank you to the 38 fans who apparently we have. Top podcast.
Yeah, great year. Far out.
I know. Happy
amazing.
2024. We're not done yet though for 2024. Still a big month ahead. And then can't wait to get into 2025. Always a pleasure.
Yeah.
Never a chore when it comes to you gentlemen. See you later.
Lovely. Thanks, boys.